Look closely at the most famous earring in history. What do you see? A priceless pearl? A symbol of wealth? A masterpiece of the Dutch Golden Age? For 400 years, the world has been under a spell. But in 2026, the illusion has finally been shattered. New scientific scans have confirmed a chilling reality. The pearl does not exist. It is a ghost, a trick of the light created by a man who took his darkest secrets to the grave. Why would Johannes Vermeer spend years creating a lie? Who was the girl staring at us with those haunting, watery eyes? And why does it feel like she's trying to tell us something that the history books were too afraid to print? Welcome back to Shadow Facts. Today, we are stripping away the paint to reveal the terrifying truth behind the girl with a pearl earring. Think about every famous painting you know. The Mona Lisa has her smile. The Scream has its terror. But this girl, she has a secret. For centuries, art historians called her the Mona Lisa of the North. They told us she was a servant, or perhaps Vermeer's eldest daughter. They told us the pearl represented her purity. They were wrong. Under the latest 2026 multispectral imaging, the canvas began to scream. First, researchers discovered that the dark, empty background wasn't always empty. Vermeer had originally painted a green curtain, a domestic setting. But then, he erased it. He wiped away the world around her, leaving her floating in a black, suffocating void. Why? Why isolate her in total darkness? But that's not even the most unsettling part. Let's talk about the pearl. If you zoom in, closer than the human eye could ever see in the 17th century, the earring disappears. There is no hook attaching it to her ear. There is no silver wire. It is nothing more than a few floating strokes of lead-white paint. It's an optical illusion. Vermeer didn't paint a pearl, he painted the idea of one. In the 1600s, a pearl of that size was impossible. It would have cost more than a house. A servant girl wouldn't own it. A painter in debt like Vermeer couldn't buy it. It was a fake, a costume, a prop in a twisted game of shadows. But if the jewel was a lie, was the girl a lie too? This is where the story turns dark. This isn't a portrait. In the world of art, this is called a tronie, a study of a character, an imaginary face. Vermeer wasn't painting a person, he was painting a fantasy. But where did the inspiration come from? Some believe Vermeer used a camera obscura, a primitive, room-sized projector that allowed him to trace reality with supernatural precision. In a time when the church ruled with an iron fist, using such technology was seen by some as witchcraft, a way to trap a soul inside a box of light. Look at her eyes again. Notice the moisture? The parted lips? She looks like she's been caught in a moment of absolute shock, as if she just saw something she wasn't supposed to see. For years, the theory was that this was Greet, a young maid. But records from the era show a darker pattern. Vermeer was a man obsessed with light, yet his life was shrouded in debt and tragedy. He died at just 43, leaving his family in ruins. Some say the girl was his obsession, a perfection he could never reach in his own crumbling life. The 2026 scans revealed one final, heartbreaking detail. Beneath the surface, there are pentimenti, places where the artist changed his mind. Vermeer struggled with her position. He moved her eyes. He adjusted her gaze. He was haunted by her. He spent his final years refining a face that didn't exist, wearing a jewel that was a fake, in a world that was forgotten. Every time you look at her, she's looking back, mocking us. We thought we were looking at art. We were actually looking at a 400-year-old crime scene of the mind. The pearl isn't real. The background is a lie. And the girl, she's a ghost trapped in the lead, and oil of a man who vanished into the shadows of history. The next time you stand before a masterpiece, ask yourself, is the beauty real? Or is it just a very expensive distraction from the truth? If this mystery changed the way you see the world, hit that subscribe button. The shadows have more stories to tell, and you don't want to be left in the dark. This is Shadow Facts. Until next time, keep watching the light, because the truth is always hiding in the blur.